Привет, товарищи! Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be learning a super simple survival technique, and this is called the Ranger Beads. The Ranger Beads is a military invention, and it is a metric based, which all that means is we're counting out in meters and kilometers, which is super simple. Don't freak out. I have a conversion formula if you want to flip it back to US measurements. So basically, if a soldier calls it in, and this is in the US military or any other NATO military. So if a soldier calls in and they say, hey, I'm 10 clicks away, what does that mean? 1 click equals 1 kilometer. So you have to understand how many kilometers are in a mile. And the answer is 1 kilometer equals 0.62 miles. So they're 10 clicks away. You take and then you times it by 0.62, which is 6.2 miles away. So you know exactly how far it is. Now, since you know that information, the next step is to figure out your pace count. Now, your pace is super simple. Basically, one pace or stride, whatever you want to call it, equals 2 natural steps. For most people, one stride or pace is 1.5 meters. And that roughly translates into 5 feet for the US system. Now, to determine, because that's average, I'm telling you averages, to determine your own measurements, you're going to have to go into a field, sometimes a soccer field or a football field, and you guys, because that's a flat piece of land, and you'll know about just by seeing it how far it is. So the formula to take yards and to turn it into meters is very simple. It's 0.914. So if you take a football field, for instance, an American football field, you know that it's 100 yards by 50 yards. If you can visually walk out on a football field and you can see that, and then you take that 100 times 0.914, and then you round down to 0.91, that basically equals to 91 meters. Now, if you take the width, which is 50 yards, 2 meters, that's 45.5 meters. So when you guys start beginning to get a grasp and a feel for those measurements, you can establish, and a football field plus 9 meters, that's 100 meters. 100 meters is 1/10 of a click or a kilometer. How many paces does it take to walk that 100 meters? For most people, on average, that's 66 paces to do that, or 660 paces in 1 click. Okay, let me show you exactly how this is done. As you guys can see, this is a super simple design. It consists of 9 beads on the bottom and then 4 beads on the top. Now you can modify this design and you can have anywhere from 4 to 6 to 7 beads on top, but the one thing that you cannot modify is the 9 beads on the bottom. So basically every 100 meters that you walk, you flip that down. That's, again, just to remind you guys, that's like 66 paces. You flip one down. And then for the next 100 meters, you flip it down. Once you've walked 900, the 10th one is going to be right here. 100 meters equals 1 click. 1 click or 1 kilometer. And you guys basically repeat that. So if you had to read this right now, you would understand that this is 1 kilometer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we basically walked 1.5 kilometers by this reading. This is super simple. Even if you get distracted, you can always look down and know exactly how much you have walked, and you can always restart very simply. Now, some quick things to consider and to think about. In the wild, while you're going through the woods, desert, etc., there's going to be almost never a perfect 100 meters stretch. Places, if you're walking through the sand or other adverse terrain, you're going to obviously make more paces. In the military, overall in average, this is how they count it. 110 paces equals 100 meters. 100 meters, as you guys know, is one of these bottom pieces. Now, 110 normal strides and paces, and then 120 going uphill, and 100 going downhill. Now, even though it's not a perfect system, you're going to have an approximate knowledge where you're at if you keep counting your paces. This system can be used at night, and there's so many uses for this system. Knowledge is power. Remember that, guys. And as always, I hope you guys like this kind of video. Go ahead and comment down below. I'd love to hear your comments and what you guys have to say about it. Share this video if you haven't already, and subscribe. And as always, I hope I see you guys next time. Пока-пока.